I'm Stefan Baumann, and I would love to introduce you to a new book that I just wrote on plein air painting. After 40 years, I finally sat down with one of the best authors that I could possibly imagine for this project and put together everything I know about painting outdoors. And this isn't just an outdoor painting book. No, these are techniques that you can bring into the studio, and they apply to watercolors, acrylics, gouache, and oil. You will be amazed at what you will learn with every turn of the page, every paragraph. We have worked through my videos, my information, my books, my blogs, and brought it all together. And over 2 years of editing, we brought it down to just the facts. This painting book has over 400 pages and almost 500 illustrations. If you see my videos and if you read my blog and you follow me on YouTube, you know that there's a lot of information. There's a lot of things you don't know that you don't know. I'm amazed at the quality of this book, the pages. It's a field guide. It's a book that you would take outdoors with you and paint on location. It's been organized so you could find your way through my keys. This book explains 40 years of teaching and knowledge one-on-one. All the information that I possibly know about painting is in this book. So run, don't walk, and order this book today.
Get this book. It's
I'm
awesome.
Stefan Baumann. I want to thank you for joining us for another talk. Today we're going to talk about watermarking your paintings and whether or not that's a good idea or not. And so later on, we're going to also discuss about whether or not you should write a story about your painting. So secretly between us, if you write a story about your artwork, if you go through and try to figure out a story that you can capture, and that story doesn't always have to be a story like Mary Had a Little Lamb, but if you want to captivate an audience, if you want to get their focus by writing a story, it is crucial. So I want you to listen to the conversation I'm having with one of my students in our book club. And if you haven't got the book club, you can go to my website, buy the book. The book club is free. This book rocks. It's 400 pages of pure information, so jammed into this book, you'll never want to be without it. But for right now, sit back, watch this interesting conversation about watermarking and telling a story, and I will see you on the other side of this video.
What do you think about watermarking your images on your site? Because
Watermarking your artwork is a real, yeah, it's a real great question. If you are interested in putting your work out there and they give you the option to put a watermark on your painting, for those of you who don't know what that is, periodically you will go through the internet and there'll be a picture of a painting or a photograph, and there'll be like a logo dancing through it or a name dancing through it or a whole bunch of pixels to kind of destroy the image. And the whole idea is that if somebody wanted to copy your painting off the screen and then print it on prints, in fact, I know somebody actually here that actually happened. They pulled the images offline, and you could do that just by copying the image and make prints of it in China and then send them back. If somebody wants to take an image off screen of one of mine and put it in a frame and hang it in their bathroom, I like the idea. It's like, okay, it's like I have people who buy my paintings. They could afford thousands of dollars. They're not going to be copying something offline or, I do sell prints. Usually the prints are really high resolution. I do monitor the quality of them. I just kind of feel like, uh, you know, there's more stuff on the internet that is not pixelated or have a watermark on it. I would suggest don't make that kind of part of the viewing experience. When you look at something and it has a watermark on it, you're distracted by it. And I just like welcome. Welcome to my gallery. Welcome to my paintings. If you feel like you want to copy one, fine. I know how difficult it is to sell. So if you can sell them, great. As long as you put my name on it, I'm fine with it. If you want to copy it otherwise, I can't really control you anyway. I'm not really worried. There's so much artwork out there. They're not going to just choose your paintings
Yeah.
or to make their fortune. And if they do, copy what they're doing because you might be able to apply it and you could be rich, you know. So part of our marketing is that we try to, tell stories, and people love stories. If you have a problem selling your painting, maybe it's not the painting, maybe there's no story. Now remember, I'm kind of known as, so what were you thinking kind of guy. And, in that process of thinking, I listen to what you have to say. And sometimes, I look at a painting and it's mediocre or, yeah, I'm not saying my students are all great. I mean, if you're taking coach with me, you're going to be a great painter. If you're in Patreon with me, you're going to be good. If you read my book, you're going to be great. So my whole mission is trying to make you guys really look great. But let's just like Munt's, the Scream. Okay, so let's take a really awful work and see, but it's really a mediocre kind of ugly painting. And it's world famous because it shows this figure going, and we've all been there. We've all felt that. So art is communication, when you can connect with somebody, even if the artwork sucks, if you can give them a story of why it looks the way that it does, and you can connect the viewer to what it is, you're going to have interest in that piece. So I suggest that all of your artwork have a story attached to it. Now, Basil basically take it to one step further, and we talked about it because he was having this art show. And so, if we write a story, let's say the scream itself, when I say the word scream, you kind of know that frustration, that feeling. So the painting kind of has that look to it. We can just get it with a word, but let's just say you have a story. So he had a little poetry. So, it's like Humpty Dumpty sat on the walls. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. So it was a little more detailed than that, but we don't have that much time to recall those. But next to it, he had a story, and it was haiku and kind of a little story. So people would read the story and they'd step back and look at it. And then they would read the story and then they would look back at it. Now what you're doing is you're kind of causing the viewer to be engaged in your painting a little bit longer. And that's the hardest thing. Now, Basil takes coaching from me, so I know the story of what happened is that he had this show with another artist, and this other artist didn't have a story to his work. And, everybody was on his side of the gallery going, back and forth. Well, the other artist got really jealous because everybody would look at his work and go, as you could look across the room, there was nothing to draw you in. I mean, another thing too is like having really big name tags, with a little explanation and stuff. People look down and look at the name tag. Anything that you can draw the viewer in to what you're doing is going to make the viewer interaction with your artwork further. And half the thing is when people come in, can I help you? And you go, yeah, I'm looking for red socks. Well, that opens up the conversation. You want red? Well, we don't have red socks, but these socks are far more comfortable than any red sock you could possibly buy. And they go, oh no. But see, the engagement is there. And so when people come into your work, when they engage in your website, if you actually have a button there that says, here's the story about the painting, or here's, a prose or a video that's attached to your painting, anything to get people to go a step further. I mean, right now everything's in video. And if you actually have your website and you have your painting and it says click here to see the video, you got 3 minutes, 5 minutes of the making of this painting. They're going to be much more intrigued than just looking at your painting for a second and leave. Right now, people's attention span is like this. Don't believe me? Watch them when they're looking through Facebook, or it's like boom, boom, boom. The reason why the videos get more attention is because people have to kind of stop and click on them and look at them. So they usually get higher rankings, but that doesn't mean they necessarily are better. But if you have a really good work of art, a video, a story, they come back to your painting, they come at it with a much deeper focus. And so these people were reading his story, they were looking at his painting, they were reading his story, they were looking at his painting, and he just said it was far more successful than the other artists. They didn't feel that. The other guy, probably the gallery didn't want to put up his stories because they probably weren't that good. So part of art is that everything you do in life, in art, and I mean in life, everything, be present, right? I was like making an omelet yesterday, and in the process, I was just consciously cutting mushrooms and onions and things like that, and I was enjoying the process, not just to finish the omelet so I could devour it, but actually enjoying the process of that. When you're writing, enjoy the process of writing at that moment. Enjoy being you're an artist visually, but what about if you use words as part of your medium? Titles. Try to be. How can I take this title and said, man in suit in on the street? Maybe find something intriguing. I love haiku titles. One of the paintings that just got destroyed is one of my favorites actually in the book is called "In Nature's Kingdom, the Children Play." It is now playing on the outside of my house with snow on it. It got destroyed, but that title alone kind of invokes a feeling in nature's kingdom, which is the children play. There's no children in the painting, but it invokes the sound of children playing and maybe light playing. So you get the viewer to be thinking of your painting a little bit more. So titling your artwork so that it has a little bit more storytelling is good. If you go a step further and you write a poem or haiku about it, people will sit there and ponder, what is he trying to say? What is he? Yeah, it's all about communication. It's connection with your viewer. The more connected they get, the more apt that they'll want to take it home. But if it's just a piece of wallpaper sitting there, yeah, it's pretty, but you could copy it off the internet, stick it in a frame as long as they don't have a watermark on it, and frame it. Try to tie everything together, as you can see. See, I told you there's a lot of information that and you don't know, and what you don't know is what's going to harm your artwork. You want to make sure that you get all the information you want that's in this book about light, temperature, color. If you want to come to one of my workshops, go to my website at stefanbaumann.com. There you could register for a workshop either in the spring or the fall. If you want coaching, just give me a call at 415-606-9074. 415-606-9074. All the information about all the videos that I have are there online at my website. If you want to be part of what we're doing, just get off the computer right now and do something. Get my book, go to Patreon, check that out, see if there's something there for you. Buy the book, be part of the book club. I'm out here to give you information so you can get to where you want to go faster. You are not going to get anywhere in this whole painting thing if you just sit and watch videos and think somebody's going to give you the secrets. There are no secrets. Well, there's one secret. If you get the book, you'll know what that is. And if you watch my videos, you get that. I'm not hoarding or not telling you what it is. But if you want to improve your work fast, give me a call. Until then, get out there, paint, do something right now. Turn off the computer right now. Oh, you should write the subscribe button. You should definitely want to subscribe to these videos. But after you subscribe to the video, turn it off, pick up your paintbrushes, and let's go paint. Thanks for joining me. I'm Stefan Baumann, and I would love to introduce you to a new book that I just wrote on plein air painting. After 40 years, I finally sat down with one of the best authors that I could possibly imagine for this project and put together everything I know about painting outdoors. And this isn't just an outdoor painting book. No, these are techniques that you can bring into the studio, and they apply to watercolors, acrylics, gouache, and oil. You will be amazed at what you will learn with every turn of the page, every paragraph. We have worked through my videos, my information, my books, my blogs, and brought it all together. And over 2 years of editing, we brought it down to just the facts. This painting book has over 400 pages and almost 500 illustrations. If you see my videos and if you read my blog and you follow me on YouTube, you know that there's a lot of information. There's a lot of things you don't know that you don't know. I'm amazed at the quality of this book, the pages. It's a field guide. It's a book that you would take outdoors with you and paint on location. It's been organized so you could find your way through my keys. This book explains 40 years of teaching and knowledge one-on-one. All the information that I possibly know about painting is in this book. So run, don't walk, and order this book today.
Get this book. It's awesome.